Hey there, welcome back to the channel. Let me ask you something. How are you really feeling? Because if you're here, chances are you're carrying the weight of heartbreak, maybe even a flicker of hope that your ex might come back. I get it, I really do. Breakups leave behind this ache, this space, where all the memories, laughter and love once lived. And it's so tempting to cling to the idea of a second chance, isn't it? The idea that maybe, just maybe, they'll walk back into your life and everything will feel whole again. But let me tell you something, and I say this with all the compassion in the world. It's time to stop waiting for someone who might not come back. That doesn't mean it's easy to let go. That doesn't mean you don't love them, or that the time you spent together wasn't meaningful. What it does mean is that you deserve to heal. You deserve clarity, and most importantly, you deserve to reclaim your power. Today, we're diving into 7 signs your ex will never come back. I won't sugarcoat it. Some of these signs might sting, but here's the twist. This video isn't about wallowing in sadness or feeding your insecurities. It's about empowerment. It's about recognizing what's in front of you so you can finally free yourself from what's behind you. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. You don't have control over what your ex chooses to do. You don't control their feelings or their actions, but you do control how you show up for yourself. You control whether you stay stuck in the past or step boldly into your future." Think of it this way. Every day you spend waiting for them to come back is a day you could be pouring into yourself. A day you could be using to rebuild, to grow, to rediscover what makes you extraordinary. Because here's the truth, they might not come back. And that's okay. You're not defined by their absence. You're defined by what you choose to do next. As we go through these 7 signs, I want you to take this journey as a moment of truth and transformation. Yes, it might be hard to face some of these realities, but I promise you, on the other side of understanding is freedom. On the other side of heartbreak is healing. And on the other side of letting go is you, standing stronger than you've ever been. Now take a deep breath, clear your mind, and really allow yourself to feel every word we discuss today. Reflect on how these signs resonate with your story, and don't shy away from the truth. They're stepping stones to your growth. I want you to drop an affirmation in the comments. I am unshakable. Say it loudly, believe it, and carry it with you as we embark on this journey together. Are you ready? Let's uncover these signs and take back control of your story. Because this isn't just about understanding your ex. It's about reclaiming you. Let's dive in. Sign 1. They've completely moved on. One of the hardest truths to face after a breakup is recognizing when your ex has moved on. Maybe they've entered a new relationship, filled their life with new experiences, or erased all traces of your connection from their world. It stings. It feels like a part of you is being erased along with it. But here's the perspective shift you need. Their journey is no longer your responsibility. When someone truly moves on, it's not about you. It's about their choice to close a chapter in their life. And while it hurts, this is where your power begins. Holding on to someone who has already let go is like gripping sand. It only slips further away the harder you try. Instead of focusing on their actions, turn your energy inward and reclaim your power. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic philosopher, once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." These words hold the secret to your healing. You can't control what they do or how they feel, but you can control how you respond. You can choose to let go of the hope that weighs you down and create space for something brighter to take its place. When you notice signs that your ex has moved on, perhaps through their silence, their new relationship, or their indifference, don't view it as a rejection. See it as an opportunity for you to redirect your focus. Yes, it's hard. Yes, it's painful. But growth is never easy. The best transformations come from the moments we think we can't endure, but do anyway. What can you do instead of dwelling on their new life? Pour that energy into your own. Start by asking yourself, what have I put on hold for this relationship? Maybe it's a hobby you loved, a career goal you delayed, or friendships you've neglected. Now is the time to pour your heart into these aspects of your life. Rediscover yourself outside the shadow of the relationship. Every morning, start your day with a small ritual to anchor yourself in the present. Use affirmations like, "I release what no longer serves me," to remind yourself that holding on to the past keeps you from embracing the future. Write it down, repeat it, and let it be the first thought you hold as you step into your day. Dedicate your time to activities that light you up. Join that class you've been curious about. Call the friend you haven't seen in ages. Take a walk in nature and reconnect with the world outside your thoughts. As you focus on building a fulfilling life, the pain of their absence will slowly fade, replaced by pride in the person you're becoming. And remember, healing isn't about forgetting the past. It's about creating a future so rich, so full of joy, that the past no longer defines you. Now I want you to take a moment and drop an affirmation in the comments. I am whole on my own. Write it down, believe it, and carry it with you as a reminder of the strength you hold within. Sign 2. They show no interest in communication. One of the hardest pills to swallow after a breakup is the silence. When someone stops replying, blocks you, or makes no effort to reach out, it can feel like a direct blow to your sense of worth. The questions flood in. Did I do something wrong? Why don't they care? But the harsh reality is this. Their lack of communication is a clear sign they've chosen to disconnect. And chasing after their attention won't bring you the peace you seek. This is where you need to pause and reflect. Ask yourself, why am I valuing someone who no longer values me? It's not an easy question to face, but it's a necessary one. Often, we attach our worth to how others treat us, forgetting that their actions are a reflection of them, not us. If they've stopped communicating, it's not a sign that you're unworthy. It's a sign that they've made a choice. And now, it's your turn to make yours. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, offers wisdom in moments like these. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Their silence is outside your control, but your reaction is entirely in your hands. This is where your true power lies, not in convincing them to stay, but in choosing how you move forward. Instead of chasing their attention, commit to silence. Let their absence create space for your self-discovery. Silence isn't a punishment or a game. It's a gift to yourself. It's a chance to step back, reevaluate, and focus on the one person who truly matters in this equation. You. Start small. Dedicate time each day to journaling about your wins, no matter how small they may seem. Did you take a walk today? Finish a task you'd been putting off. Reach out to a friend. These moments are worth celebrating. They remind you that life moves forward, even when someone else steps out of it. During this time, practice affirmations that reinforce your worth. Repeat phrases like, I am whole, even in silence, or I am deserving of love that is freely given. Write them down, speak to them aloud, and let them anchor you when emotions start to stir. Also, take a moment to reflect on the relationships in your life that do bring you joy and fulfillment. Sometimes we become so fixated on one person's absence that we overlook the abundance of love and connection already around us. Nurture those relationships, and you'll find your heart beginning to heal. Remember this: communication is a two-way street. If they've chosen to close the door, don't keep knocking. Instead, build a new path, one where you're the priority. Their silence isn't a reflection of your value, it's a reflection of their choice. And in their absence, you have the freedom to choose yourself. Finally, I want you to drop an affirmation in the comments. I am worthy of love and respect. Say it, believe it, and let it guide you as you move forward. Sign 3. They've returned your belongings or cut ties. When an ex returns your belongings or cuts ties completely, it can feel like the final chapter has been written, a stark, undeniable sign that they're moving on. It's a moment that can stir up feelings of rejection, sadness, or even anger. But while this act might seem like the end of something meaningful, it's also the beginning of something new, an opportunity to reclaim your life and move forward with purpose. Returning items isn't just about practicality, it's often symbolic. It says, "This part of my life is over." While that can sting, it's important to remember that closure doesn't have to mean loss. Closure can mean release, and with release comes freedom. Instead of interpreting this gesture as rejection, try to reframe it as an opening. They've returned what was yours, but now it's your turn to take back more than just physical objects. Take back your energy, your focus, and your ability to create a future untethered to the past. Begin by purging reminders of the relationship. This isn't about erasing memories, it's about creating space for the new. Go through your belongings with intention. Is there a shirt that makes you think of them? A gift that now feels heavy with meaning? It's okay to let these things go. Donate them, recycle them, or store them away if you're not ready to part with them entirely. The act of clearing these items from your immediate environment can be deeply cathartic. As you let go of each item, turn it into a ritual of empowerment. Hold it for a moment, acknowledge the role it played in your life, and say goodbye with gratitude. Then, repeat to yourself, "I am creating space for my happiness." Say it with intention and believe it. With every item you release, you're making room, not just in your physical space, but in your heart and mind, for new joys, new opportunities, and new connections. Now focus on transforming your environment into a reflection of the person you're becoming. Rearrange your furniture, add new decor, or buy something small that brings you joy. A plant, a piece of art, or even a cozy blanket. Each change signals a fresh start. It's a reminder that your space is your sanctuary, and it should nurture the version of you that is moving forward. Above all, remember that letting go doesn't mean forgetting. It means choosing yourself. It's an act of courage to release what no longer serves you and to trust that brighter days are ahead. Finally, I want you to drop an affirmation in the comments. I deserve a fresh start. Say it, own it, and let it be the mantra that carries you forward. Sign 4. They never reflect on the past relationship. When someone avoids talking about the relationship or showing any remorse, it can feel like they've erased a chapter that meant so much to you. Their emotional detachment might come across as indifference, leaving you questioning your value. But let me remind you of something important. Their detachment is not a reflection of your worth. It's a reflection of their readiness, their perspective, or simply the choices they've made for themselves. When someone refuses to look back, it often means they've chosen to close that door. This can hurt deeply, especially if you're still standing at that door, hoping it will open again. But consider this. Holding on to something or someone who has moved on only ties your growth to their choices. The reality is you don't need someone else's reflection on the past to validate your experience. The memories, lessons, and emotions are yours to keep, and they have shaped you in ways that no one can take away. Maya Angelou's words resonate here. You may encounter many defeats, but you must not be defeated. Just because they've detached doesn't mean you need to. In fact, this is your moment to reflect, heal, and rebuild on your own terms. One powerful way to reclaim your emotional freedom is through writing a letter, not to them, but for yourself. This letter isn't meant to rehash the relationship for their eyes. It's meant to pour out everything you've been carrying. Write it all. The joy, the pain, the confusion, and even the anger. Write down the things you wish you could say, the questions that haunt you, and the feelings you can't seem to shake. Once the letter is complete, pause. Read it to yourself if you feel ready, and let the words carry the weight of your emotions. Then, destroy it. Tear it up, burn it safely, or shred it into pieces. Let this act be symbolic, a physical representation of releasing the pain and memories that no longer serve your growth. With each fragment that falls away, imagine the burden lifting from your shoulders. This act doesn't erase what happened, nor does it mean forgetting. It means you're choosing to stop letting those memories control your present. You're reclaiming the emotional energy you've been pouring into the past and directing it towards your future. Finally, take a moment to breathe. Reflect not on what was lost, but on the strength you've gained through this journey. I want you to drop an affirmation in the comments. I am worthy of love and growth. Let it be a reminder that you are not defined by someone else's detachment. You are enough, and you are deserving of your own peace and happiness. Sign 5. Their social media presence reflects a new life. Seeing your ex post about their amazing new life on social media can hit like a punch to the gut. Each carefully curated post, the vacations, the new hobbies, or the laughter-filled selfies, might feel like a deliberate reminder that they've moved on. It's tempting to analyze every caption, every image, searching for hidden meaning or signs of regret. But here's the truth. What you're seeing is a highlight reel, not reality. Social media is a stage where most people present their best selves. It doesn't show the sleepless nights, the moments of doubt, or the cracks behind the perfect filter. Yet, we often let this illusion of perfection deepen our pain, comparing our raw emotions to their polished facade. But ask yourself, why let their posts dictate your worth? Seneca said it best, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Most of the pain comes not from what is, but from the stories we tell ourselves about what we see. Unfollowing or muting them isn't about bitterness, it's about protecting your peace. If seeing their updates triggers sadness, jealousy, or frustration, it's okay to take a step back. Your emotional well-being should always come first. Removing their presence from your feed gives you space to heal, unburdened by constant reminders of the past. Now, let's shift focus from their highlight reel to yours. What would make you feel alive again? Is there a skill you've always wanted to learn, a book you've been meaning to read, or a fitness goal you've been putting off? Turn your energy toward those things. Start small. Maybe it's signing up for a class, taking daily walks, or journaling your progress. As you work on your goals, celebrate every victory, no matter how small. Did you complete a workout? Share it. Did you visit a new place? Post it. Not for anyone else, but for you. Let your social media reflect the exciting journey you're on, not to compete with anyone, but to inspire yourself. Every post can serve as a visual reminder of how far you've come, a testament to your strength and resilience. Now, take a moment and drop an affirmation in the comments. I create my own happiness. Because that's what this moment is about. Not dwelling on someone else's timeline, but stepping fully into your own. You're not defined by their posts or their choices. Your life is yours to build, and your happiness is yours to own. Sign 6. They show indifference toward you. Indifference can sting more than anger or sadness. When someone no longer reacts to your presence, your words, or even your absence, it feels like a void, cold and unfeeling. It's tempting to ask yourself, how did it come to this? Or, why don't they care anymore? But here's the truth. Their indifference is not a reflection of your worth. It's a signal that their chapter in your story has ended. Now, it's time for you to write the next one. When someone becomes indifferent, it means they've emotionally detached. And while that realization can be painful, it's also liberating. Why? Because you no longer have to fight for their validation. You are free from the exhausting cycle of trying to prove your value to someone who isn't looking. Maya Angelou once said, "You alone are enough. You have nothing to prove to anybody." This moment isn't about questioning their feelings. It's about rediscovering yours. So, where do you start? By reclaiming your identity. Often in relationships, we blur our edges, becoming so focused on the other person that we lose sight of ourselves. Their indifference offers an opportunity, a painful one, yes, but also a chance to remember who you are outside of that connection. Take out a piece of paper and write down everything that makes you incredible. Not just the obvious things like your job or hobbies, but the little details that make you. Maybe it's your sense of humor, your ability to listen deeply, or the way you light up when talking about something you love. List your strengths, your talents, and the unique qualities that set you apart. You might be surprised at how much there is to celebrate. Next, make a commitment to nurture these parts of yourself. Sign up for that class you've been eyeing, reconnect with old friends, or start a project that excites you. These are acts of self-love, reminding you that your value isn't tied to their recognition. It's rooted in your own belief in yourself. As you go through this process, anchor yourself with the affirmation, I am enough, exactly as I am. Repeat it daily, let it sink in, and allow it to guide you toward healing and growth. Sign 7. They've told you it's over and meant it. When someone tells you it's over and their actions align with their words, the message is clear. Yet as humans, we often cling to the faintest glimmer of hope, replaying their words, looking for hidden meanings, or waiting for a sign that they'll come back. But holding on to false hope only deepens the wound and delays the healing you deserve. Let's face it, hearing those words is like being struck by a cold truth. It stings, it shatters, and it leaves you questioning everything. But as painful as it feels, their honesty gives you something invaluable closure. It's not wrapped in comfort, but it's a gift nonetheless. It allows you to stop running after what if and start walking toward what's next. Seneca said it best. Fate leads the willing and drags along the reluctant. The essence of this wisdom is acceptance. When you resist reality, you create unnecessary suffering. But when you accept what's in front of you, you allow yourself the freedom to move forward. This is not about giving up. It's about letting go. Acceptance doesn't happen overnight, and it's not about suppressing your feelings. It's okay to mourn the loss of the relationship. It was a part of your life after all. But radical acceptance means choosing to release the why and the what could have been. It means saying to yourself, "This is my reality, and I can find peace within it." To embody acceptance, start by speaking it aloud. I accept what I cannot change, and I embrace the future with courage. Feel the weight of those words and let them ground you in the present. Acceptance doesn't erase the pain, but it gives you the strength to carry it without breaking. Then, begin to refocus on the future. Set goals that excite and inspire you. What is something you've always wanted to do but held back on? Whether it's traveling, pursuing a passion, or building a new skill, these actions are declarations of hope and self-love. They say to the world, and to yourself, that you're not defined by this ending. You're creating a new beginning. And as you move forward, remind yourself daily, I am the author of my story. Drop this affirmation in the comments to anchor your strength. You have the power to write a new chapter, one that reflects your courage, resilience, and the extraordinary life ahead. There you have it, the 7 signs your ex might never return. But remember, this isn't the end of your story. It's a new chapter, one where you are in control. Now, it's your turn. Which of these steps will you take today? Drop an affirmation in the comments, like, I am reclaiming my power. And let's support each other on this journey. And hey, if this video resonated, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more empowering content. Until next time, keep rising, keep thriving, and always believe in your own worth. See you soon.